Hello, and welcome to Creative Crafting with John G. Today we're going to make some magic wands. I actually have an example because I've done this craft before. This one's bigger than my workspace. This one's about 12 inches of pure magic wandness. And I also made one like this as well. So what you're going to need is a chopstick, hot glue, some gesso, acrylic paints, Mod Podge or something similar, your imagination, and all your imperfections. So as you can see in the example, this is actually a 12-inch piece of bamboo skewer that I had. The chopsticks are quite smaller. It is fun. I really enjoy this craft. The first step is to take hot glue and kind of wrap it around the base of your wand, and you can build it up. So at the bottom here, you can see I made like a little knobbly part. It's kind of cool because once you do it, each wand will be a little bit different and unique and yours, just like in a certain series where he has to go to the wand maker and pick out the one that works for him. I'm going to start with the hot glue, and I've already put a little bit on this tip and tried to let it dry a little bit, and then I smushed it around, maybe to form a just a nice point that I want. You could sand your chopstick if you wanted to, in order to get a point right on the bamboo. In the past, what I did with these examples is that I've done a twist, like a knobbly twist around the magic wand. This one I've gotten a request for stripes. So I'm going just to start here and put some pressure on, and you can kind of see from the side it goes from thin to thick, and that is actually okay. Just remember that we're adding texture and we're going to paint over it, okay? So whatever comes out might actually work for all of us. Now at the end, I like to give it a little heft, because I think that wands should have, I don't know, it's in my opinion that wands have a knobbly end. So I'm going to start some more lines, and this chopstick that I have is actually kind of rectangular, so it kind of is fairly easy to get the vertical lines that have been requested. So now it's time for the gesso, and if you read the back of it, it is a white primer that seals, stiffens, and provides surface tooth for painting surfaces. Now, I just pour it out, boop, like that. This is the wand here, and I'm just going to dip some in, and I usually do 2 coats. So you can see that I have the gesso on the wand, and you can kind of see the hot glue and kind of the texture that you're going to have for the finished product a little bit better now that it's covered. And so the next thing I'll do is start off with the first base coat of the color. For this one, I was told to go with purple and pink. The acrylic that I'm using lets me know that this is going to be solid, and this one lets me know that it's going to be a little bit transparent, or you can see through it. So I'm probably going to do a light coat of purple first, and then give it pink accent color. I have the first coat on, and you can still kind of see some of the gesso underneath. So I'm gonna go ahead, I think I've decided to put a second coat on this one. I ended up putting 3 coats on this purple wand just to make sure that I had enough coverage, and this one's really shiny. So I'm gonna go ahead and put on a layer of pink. So I'm gonna just put a little bit on the brush, and on this one I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of put just the smallest amount on, and I'm gonna smush this around into the nooks and crannies. And so this is kind of the effect I'm going for, where there is just a little bit of difference between the pink and the purple. And you can see that the pink has kind of just muted that purple just a little bit, but you do get some little bits and pieces of pink color kind of shining through. And right now this is just kind of playing with the shades and the colors. So I really like how this came out. And so now I'm just going to paint the decoupage on top of it. So I have my little bottle here, and this one happens to be glossy, so it'll make it even shinier. But I usually do 2 coats, and it just kind of goes on, and you'll just want to let it dry. In between, it'll even kind of mix the colors a little bit more. And so I'm going to go ahead and finish my coat. And so here's the final product of the wand. This is a wand. I like how the end here came out and the front, and so you'll be able to cast your own spells. Astral Broom, for instance. That is the only one that I remember. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you play around with it. I really do like how this came out. It's purple, it has some pink undertones, kind of shining through. It's nice, catches the light. The glue really comes out and gives it that definition of some sort of knobbly old stick. I like that a lot. Over here in the corner, you can see another one I was working on at the same time. I did the glue a little bit differently. This had brown base coat with some green stippling on it, and it's nice and shiny now. And you can kind of still see some of the brown. It has a nice green sheen. So you can make them as different as you want. There's a lot of variety, and this is just a really, really fun craft, especially over the summer and when you might not be able to go out and play with your friends. You can play with your family and turn them into frogs. I'm sure parents always enjoy that. So I'll see you next time on Crafting with John G.